Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back to the Double Lunk Podcast. As always, the guillotine over there spinning that shit. Daddy Rambo joining us. Fresh, well, maybe not fresh, kind of like a half moldy banana off of Sikaville. We got Big Kev and Brandy coming back at ya.
We had a fucking awesome time in Sikaville. Right, guys?
Sure. I did. Goddamn right I did.
We got Team Sika and Team Whitetail over here.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're team both.
Yeah.
We're team players,
Yeah.
you know? And so I was telling somebody, I was like, it's almost like somebody asked me about how I felt. Oh, it was my buddy Chris. Shout out. Chris Armstrong. He asked me, he was like, are you like all about Sika now? He's like, or is it like you're more into them? And I'm like, no. Whitetail's still like, it's like having a wife, and like Whitetail's like my wife, and the Sika deer is like the side piece that I go on a vacation with once a year. You know,
Japanese side piece.
Yes, exactly.
Not too hot, okay?
Not so hot, okay?
We're going downhill, ladies and gentlemen, real quick.
How long have we been back? 5 days? It's Wednesday right now.
We came back, late Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I came back Sunday. But yeah. I went to a beer festival and stuff down there.
How was that?
It was fantastic. I had a great time.
Good.
I got nice and tuned in at the beer fest. Went back to the hotel. Fucking you.
Got nice and tuned in again.
I wore out both of those beds. Let's leave it at that. I had a double queen room.
Good shit.
Good. I'm waiting for those extra charges on my card to show up, but nothing yet. So fingers crossed.
Nice.
Hell yeah. So we had a fucking awesome time in Sikaville, and if you're joining this from the social media, because I'm going to post on there, we had a hell of a lot of success between me and Kevin. We fucking both tagged the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like we've gotten these fucking critters pegged now.
You do.
Yeah.
Just hunt close to Seth. That's the key to success.
That's it. Jesus.
But let's go around. I wanna ask some questions to you guys, especially being that like this was the two of you. This was your first time down there.
Yeah.
You know what
Pretty much my first, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I went last year, but I didn't hunt like we did over the weekend.
So, and there was something I wanted to mention too. Oh, by the way, that guy who told me and Ryan you can't use Sika burger because it's just too tender. He can go fuck himself.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah,
Tried it?
Yeah, we got burger. I haven't tried it yet, but I mean, he made it kind of seem like you can't do it. Not that you shouldn't. So maybe he meant shouldn't, but I mean, the butcher gave us fucking Sika burger, so.
It might also be like the butcher's equipment's going to be different than like what I have at home. You know what I mean? It
That
might
motherfucker
be
had the supersized.
Right. So
Jimmy
like
did
what I have
5,000
might just
burger grinder.
mush it. You know what I mean? You might have to have something
My
more
boy-
industrial.
My boy smashing Volkswagen hoods and that thing on the weekend.
Yeah, shout out Duck Stop Butcher Shop.
That
That
Duck
place.
Stop Butcher Shop, man.
Yeah, nice, great dudes, father and son operation.
Hell of an operation.
If you go down there and you need to get your deer processed while you're there, that's a good butcher shop to go to. No complaints. Seemed to did a really good job. I like how they wrap the cuts. I mean, they use the freezer paper like we like. It's good stuff. I mean, the only thing better is vacuum sealing, but
That's where it's at.
yeah. You know, no, almost nobody does that.
It's cost. You know what I mean? Like the paper is going to be way cheaper than
Yeah.
vacuum seal bags.
Imagine that dude going through vacuum seal bags as many deers as in that
No.
motherfucker. It'd be.
It'd be a small fortune.
Yeah.
They'd have to charge you more. You know.
You're going to up your prices.
Yeah, the butcher out here in Turkey Point, he charges an extra $20 a deer to vacuum seal it.
Get fucked.
Ouch.
Right?
I'll buy you bags for fucking less than that. God damn.
Amazon.
Yeah. So, all right, well, Johnny, we'll just do a round table, man.
Okay.
What was it? I mean, this really, I can ask you all this. You can all tune in because rather than one at a time. Your first time getting out there and you heard your first bugle. What was your initial? How was that? How was that for you?
Sick.
Yeah.
Friggin' awesome.
Compared to last year.
Yeah. The one I heard last year, about 6 light years away. Yeah, I had a better time from when we just parked in the friggin' parking lot and got out of the truck, and that one ripped off right away.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this beats last year. So.
Brandy?
I literally like so excited because of course, like I told you guys, like elk bugles as a kid was part of my childhood. So to hear that being the closest thing to hear that, but I literally like that was one of my favorite things. It was so cool.
How does it compare to an elk bugle, the sound?
It's very similar, not identical. It's very similar, but of course a lot quieter than
an elk bugle.
I mean, but like size.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? You're talking apples and oranges and
10
sizes.
times the size, yeah.
But yeah, I loved it.
Except for that fucking one we seen, Johnny. That thing he looked like an elk.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
It's definitely exciting to hear them go off in the tree, let you know that they're somewhere in the area.
Yeah.
But not, you know what I mean, not knowing anything about it. At least when you hear one, you're all right, they're here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about hunting them is like whitetail, if you're not seeing them, you almost feel like they're not there.
Right.
With these things, it's like, I know you're fucking here, motherfucker.
Right?
You know what I mean? Come here.
Whitetail, unless the one's blowing at you, that's the only way you know they're there. You know what I
Yes.
mean? As far as noise, but
Right. I mean,
it
every
was
once in a
cool.
while you might hear them do some other shit, but it's so rare, you know, especially public land or any pressured area. Like, you never hear them grunting and shit. Like, it's a handful of times, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I've never heard them.
I've never heard one.
You said that last year and you heard one.
When?
Last year. You don't remember?
No.
You've heard them grunting. So I've never have.
Yeah.
I want to see them fight. That's what I want to see.
I've never seen that. I've seen them, like,
I was
fuck
going the other
around.
way. The other F word.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
I've seen them like tickle horns. But
Yes.
never.
I've never seen them scrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen just pictures on like cameras, but never in person.
Yeah,
Had pictures
of them fighting. Yeah. No, I've seen videos and shit. I've never seen in person.
Yeah.
So who drew first blood?
That would be me. Yeah. So, all right, we'll go right into it. Don't mind if I do. Me and Kevin went down. So we went down. What was that? Saturday
afternoon.
Yep. And we got a hunt in that evening because there was a cold front coming in. We were like, we want to capitalize on this. It was a great time, but I can't even remember exactly what transpired that evening. What unit did we go to? Do you remember? Well, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I know exactly where we went.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember where we went now. Okay. It took me a second. So we went to this unit with Ryan, and it was supposed to be just me and Kevin, and Ryan was going to go to this other place over, it's like Lee Compton or whatever. And Ryan called like a last-minute audible and was like, all right, I'm coming with you guys. So Ryan comes, and he sets up like where I was going to put Kevin, but there's room for two people there, so Kevin scooched on over a little bit. And I went on down and sat in my spot. Well, I don't want to get too into this because we might have Ryan on here eventually because he's probably going to come up for the rut, but Ryan, he had an opportunity, but we didn't get it done that night. So next day, we watched the Eagles game or whatever, kind of get our game plan going.
Oh, my bad.
And, Eagles kicked ass. It was a great game. And
Fuck you.
I was fucking beat, dude. I was tired. And so next day, we decided we're going to go out. We're going to take the kayaks. And there's this spot that Ryan, he got this intel from a DNR guy that he does jiu-jitsu with. He's like, yeah, man, it's a great spot. Nobody can go in there. Like, you can't get in there with a boat. It's too fucking shallow. The only way in is a kayak, and that's like the only access. So we're like, fuck yeah, sounds like money. We scout out a good spot on the map. Everything looks great. We go out Sunday, actually, and kayak out there and kind of get an idea. We're like, man, this looks pretty sweet. And Monday morning, we head out there with the kayaks. It's bright and early, you know what I mean? We pull up like almost 2 hours before sunup. And as we're pulling up,
It looks like fucking Bassmasters Classic.
Oh, shit. Duck season.
No.
Sika fucking hunters.
Oh.
These motherfuckers had mud drives and shit on their boats. They had no problem going in that ditch.
Damn.
They backed right up to that ditch, damn near lifted their boats off, fucking just dropped them right in there, breezed on past us, rocking me fucking in the water. I flipped my kayak. They're like, "Bran!" I'm like, God damn it. I was like, Ryan, that DNR guy, you can tell him to go fuck himself.
He's probably telling everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
go
can
over
do
there.
this spot.
Motherfucker.
Nobody goes there.
Yeah. It was, I think there was 4 boats.
Two of them guys pointed at me and laughed in the tree. Like, look at this fucking guy. In the only live tree in 1,000 acres.
So that was actually a really good morning for me. Well, it was almost really good. And I get out to where I wanted to hunt, and man, it's like right as the sun starts to warm up the sky in the morning, and I'm hearing the split splash of water that is unmistakably a 4-legged animal. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And so the light starts to break, and I see movement. And it's too dark to like really get a shot here, but I can tell it's a Sika deer, and it's moving in my direction. So I'm just sitting there waiting. It's at like 50 yards at this point, moving towards me. It's taking its good old time. Gets into 40. I'm like, okay, I could probably shoot it here, but it's coming straight for me, so I'm gonna let it rock. Keeps coming in. It comes to the tree that I ranged at 20 broadside. I fucking grab my bow, draw back, and fucking let that thing eat. The Sika deer jumps up, runs, 30 yards and stops. And I was like, man, that looks really high. So I was like, let me try this again. I knock another arrow, draw back, aimed lower, fucking let it eat. It was like, damn, that thing still looks high. But this time it took off. And I was like, I had to have got it that time. I was pretty sure I made a hit. Now, long story short, I fucking climbed down. Well, a couple minutes before I climbed down, I'm looking at my bow. I knock another arrow, and I look at my sight. My pin was on fucking 30.
Yes.
The night before, we were shooting at 30 yards in Ryan's backyard. And I swore I fucking moved that bitch to 20. But apparently not. Two clean misses. Then what are you going to do? Yeah. So
That's the shitty part about those rollable sights, man.
that's the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty diligent about making sure that thing's back where it is. And these fuckers drop. Like, they drop a good bit.
Yeah.
I'd say if not as much, it maybe more than whitetail drop. They'll jump a fucking arrow. So next morning, we decided to go to another spot. And we got up at the ass crack of dawn, I think 3 a.m. Well, we hunted that evening too, but it was uneventful. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make
say-
sure I'm telling this story accurately.
That was Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday's when it jumped off.
Tuesday was fucking 2 times Tuesday, dude.
Literally.
Because it was such a long week, I got to think back and try to like get these stories straight. But so Tuesday morning we go out, and it's the 3 of us still, and we basically said fuck them kayaks.
Yeah,
And-
right in the mouth.
Yeah, because it's like this is bullshit. We kayaked out that evening too, and we took this long ass fucking fuck that. Anyway, so next morning we're doing this the old fashioned way, and we go to the spot that me and Ryan had been to a couple times, and we know it's good. I've seen movement there. Everything looks great. So I take Kevin in where I want to go. Ryan goes where he wants to go. And I'm sitting there, climbing in. I got my saddle. Kevin's got the climber. We set up, I think it was like 80 yards apart, and first light comes up, fucking hearing all kinds of bugles they're ripping off in there. It was a hell of a morning sit. And then all of a sudden, man, it was 7 a.m. It was almost exactly 7 a.m. I look up, and I see movement, and then all of a sudden I hear the pitter-patter of fucking Sika deer feet. And it looked like, I thought it came from like over by Kevin, but I didn't see it. And I look at Kevin, and Kevin is just stoic as can be. Doesn't move at all. I thought this motherfucker was sleeping. I was like, God damn, that thing walked right behind Kevin over to me. Hell yeah, Kevin's sleeping. You know what I mean? And she walks over to me and she's walking straight at me. So I was like, I'm going to let her like walk past and then shoot her like quartering away a little bit. You know what I mean? Well, she fucking is walking straight at me, and I'm looking around, and where she's gonna walk, I'm not gonna have a shot. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to shoot her straight on. So she walks into a tree that I ranged that was 20 yards, and I draw. And as soon as I draw, this fucking hind looks straight at me.
Of course.
And I was like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But she looked straight at me, and I put that pin right between her shoulder blade and her fucking neck, and I let her eat.
Yes.
And I heard that shot, man. Kevin,
I texted him. I was like, damn, that sounded like a hell of a hit there.
it sounded like I shot a 55-gallon drum full of paint. I mean, that thing was, boom. It fucking went in here and out her fucking belly. It was a hell of a shot. But she took off, man. I'm like, holy shit. And with my past experience with the one that I shot, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give her some time. So I'm going to give her an hour, and then I'm going to climb down. Plus, it's still early. Like, one could walk by, and fucking Kevin could shoot one, or another one could walk by over here, and I'm going to shoot one. So we're gonna let her soak. You guys know how much I enjoy a good soak. And so I give it like 30 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well fucking rip a bugle off. I'm like, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. You know what I mean? Let me try it. I haven't tried a bugle yet. I've done a little bit of mewing, but for the most part, I've been silent. So I rip off my best bugle. And I'm like, either way, I'm getting down in 30 minutes. So if I don't see nothing, whatever. If I do, cool. 10 minutes go by. And I hear the loudest bugle, the closest bugle I've ever heard to me. And immediately knew that this animal was in shooting range.
Looking to fuck you up.
Yeah, he was like, who's over in my fucking house, dude? So I immediately grab my bow. I grab my bow, and I'm looking around, and I see 2 front feet. I can't see his head or anything. I just see the 2 front feet behind some like brush and shit, and I'm like, fuck yeah. He's like 50 yards from me. And starts making his way towards me, and I see it's a stag. It's a 4-point stag. I'm like, yes, I'm going to fucking ice this goddamn thing. And Kevin's getting to watch this whole thing transpire. And he's making a straight path exactly where that hind went, like coming right down that same line. So I'm getting ready. I'm like, fuck yeah, I got my bow in my hand, my release in my hand, my fucking heart's beating out of my chest. This is like, I had talked about wanting this to happen to me. I think to Kevin the day before, like, I would love to have a stag come in and bugle like right underneath me and then be able to shoot him. Like that's my dream. You know what I mean? And
dream experience.
Here it's fucking happening. And he's walking towards me, and he gets to 38 yards, and I know this because I ranged him, stops and turns around. So I'm like, fuck. So I range him immediately, 38 yards. I'm like, I'm about to Texas heart shot this motherfucker. So I draw my bow back because I thought he was going to leave. And then he turns perfect broadside to me. I put that pin right on his shoulder blade and fucking let it eat.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
He was yours.
And he fucking takes off. I could see my lighted knock hanging out the side of him, so that didn't feel great. I was like, fuck, I didn't get past her. And I look over at Kevin, and Kevin, I'm like, shoot him, like as loud as I can.
He couldn't see, but there was a big blood stain. Yeah. And I was like, you're in trouble, old boy. You ain't taking that and going far with it. But you could hear, shoot him. Shoot him. He didn't go
70 yards
in total.
Damn. Yeah. He didn't go far at all. So after that, we didn't waste much time at all.
No, he went out of the tree like a fireman.
Sliding.
Oh yeah, with your saddle, you do look like a fireman coming out of there.
Hell yeah, I slide down that thing like a stripper pole.
And then you got adrenaline pumping, so you're really gonna be moving.
Oh yeah, I was so pumped. I told Kevin, I said that was probably the single like coolest hunt that day, because it gets better. You know what I mean? But the evening was just as fucking electric. But that was like just, man, it was fucking awesome. That's exactly what I wanted from Sikaville. Like, and after everything from last year to just have this awesome fucking success this year was just fucking, it was just incredible. So I climbed down, and Kevin goes up ahead, and I just start following like the blood trail and followed it for like a little bit, and it was a fucking just profuse amount of blood on the ground. Those severed broadheads do their job, and I'm glad it did pass through the other side. It was hanging out a little bit. So it had an entry and an exit wound. But that entry wound was fucking gaped.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
You're not getting that with a schwacker.
No.
So, like, I'm sold. You know what I mean? Because if that thing didn't go out the other side, that would have been the only wound I had. Yeah. And that would have been plenty.
Yeah, he wasn't taking that.
No, that was a hell of a wound.
Don't run. You'll just die tired.
Right. Die tired.
Yeah.
Just lay down.
And I walked up on him, and I was just like, man, I yelled at Kevin. I was like, here he is. And then Kevin found my doe, and we fucking
shagged ass out of there, boy. We got out of the water.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, that was fucking awesome. And then later that evening, so Ryan, I can't even remember what we were doing, what our plan was, but we got thrown a total audible. Because Ryan...
It's a gift from God is what we got thrown.
Yeah, a gift from God and or Gary. One and the same.
Gary is God.
Gary is God.
Gary is the God of Blackwater.
God.
Yeah, he is the God of Blackwater. That motherfucker hooked it up, man. So he calls Ryan, and I guess he's like, do you guys want to come out and hunt with me and take a boat ride? And Ryan's on the phone. He's like, yes. And I'm like, what are we doing? He gets off
corn? What?
Yeah, I thought we were going to his feeder. I was like, okay, let's fucking go.
Sure.
Let's do it. And As now I'm in like cruise control, you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna fucking hunt with you guys and just have a good time. And so we go meet up with this dude Gary, man, and Kevin, why don't you take it over from here? Because you're Mel Gibson in this movie.
The boat ride would sold me. Like if all we did was ride out there in the boat, sit in a tree, and then come back, I'd have been happier than a pig in shit, man. So we go for this lovely boat ride through like hitting trees and shit. I mean, I was worried. Like, oh man, we're gonna sink this fucking thing because me and John boats don't get along.
Yeah.
So he takes us to this spot where you'd have to. I don't know how you would make it there any other way.
You can't.
You can't.
There's
You gotta hunt by boat.
Absolutely.
So we all figure out where we're going to go, and Seth sets up like 23 yards in front of me. So him and I are just doing dumb shit back and forth, and then like I don't know, maybe an hour and a half goes by, and I see Seth pointing. He's like, I don't see anything, and then I don't know, maybe 5 minutes later you could see him coming through. So I hit it with the rangefinder, and it was like 54 yards.
So it was a shot.
Time to let the raven eat. So I unlocked it, turned the turret to where it should be, and pulled the trigger and dropped her right there.
Fuck yeah.
So like in like true like Rocky fashion, I stand up and I'm like, yeah, holding my bow like this, and he's like, there's 2 of them. I'm like, all right, here we go. So I get everything set back up, and I can see another one in the woods line, and Seth's up there messing with his rope, and she comes out and then like turns around. I'm like, man, all right, one's cool. I know that one over there is not going anywhere. And then like right at like last light, it decided to step out of the woods, and I'll let that raven eat. And maybe 30 yards.
Yeah, we found her 30 yards from the first one. Didn't go 30.
God damn.
Dude,
They are a tough ass animal. Yeah. I mean, you got to give them that for where they come from. They are tough.
Yes, and for both of us, that was the first time I ever didn't have a pass through, and that's the first time Kevin ever didn't have a pass through.
You're talking almost 200 pounds of kinetic energy, and that deer took that thing like none other.
Yeah. Well, a little 40, 50-pound deer.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the most delicious 40 or 50-pound deer I've ever had.
Oh, my God. I had some sick of steaks the other night. They are delicious. Yeah. It is better than whitetail. It is.
Yeah. So that was a 2 for Tuesday.
Yes, that was our 2 for Tuesday. I mean, we fucking both doubled up morning and evening and dragging them fuckers out of there. Kevin, he was smiling from ear to ear. I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just would you say the succession rate is 0.2%?
It's like 0.2 or something. Not percent, but like for every Sika tag sold, there's like 0.2 or 0.3 Sika deer killed.
Jesus.
As to for whitetail, there is like 2.0.
Oh, okay.
So the average whitetail hunter kills 2. The average Sika deer hunter
Grow up,
doesn't kill any.
Right.
Yeah, get your shit together.
Seriously.
And y'all just doubled that shit.
Yeah, we fucking
on a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday.
And that wasn't all of it either. We both tagged out. So I mean, it was fucking awesome. And speaking of drags, by the way, that was the longest fucking drag I've ever had.
When, Friday night or Tuesday night?
Whatever night it was.
It was Friday.
Thursday.
I don't know.
Thursday night.
One of those nights.
One of those
It was
Thursday, the day from hell. It'll go down in history as the day from hell.
Yes.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Make sure you have all your shit charged up before you go in the woods.
Yes, Kevin got lost. Great time.
Kevin got lost.
Yeah.
Brandy,
Here, we're going to hit
Brandy
the
was
panic
thinking
alarm.
about shooting
What do you
me.
hear? Nothing.
I didn't hear anything.
I know I'm like trying not to go into panic mode.
Brandy was getting a little panicked.
I was getting panicked. I'm like, okay.
Almost got raped by a rabbit out there.
I was like, we're going to find him. He'll be fine.
It's fine. I'm
We
over
knew
there,
exactly
like,
where he
trying
went
not
to.
to hyperventilate.
I think if I would have went through the water and shagged to the left, I think it took me a little while longer, but I think I would have made it because it was almost like a grid pattern.
Yeah.
In there.
And you had your phone, so you could kind of see. But
That was the only thing that was still live.
Yeah,
It's
Everything
pitch
else-
black out there.
It's so
yeah.
dark.
yeah, me and John turned our headlamps off just to see how dark it is. You can't see your hand in front of your face.
No.
No.
I mean, if
Or
you
John's
got
hand
cloud
in front of
cover,
his zipper.
yeah, you couldn't see. I couldn't see the top of John's head. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. I couldn't see what I was doing at all.
I couldn't tell.
Going by the feel.
Just rooting around. It is. I mean, there's nothing. Nothing for
Right.
There's no light for miles.
No.
Yeah. I mean, depending on where you're at, like a lot of it, you're a couple miles from light. Yeah. It's pretty
It was
fucking
a
wild.
beautiful 2-mile hike, though. I mean,
Oh,
that was epic.
God.
It was gorgeous.
Yes, it was.
Every second of it.
Brandy loved it. Brandy,
No,
you handled
I-
it like a fucking trooper, though.
Yeah.
Because
Nobody saw me crying as we were walking in.
you didn't
so
complain
we're good.
once. Oh, you were?
Oh yeah, I was crying on the way in. I'm like back there. I'm like, don't cry, don't cry.
No crying
Like,
and sick of hunting.
So I came up Wednesday afternoon. We went halfway, came up Wednesday. Wednesday night's hunt was cool. I think too, like it was the anticipation. It's such a different environment.
Yeah.
Like Kevin had to yank me out of the water so I didn't drown, but you know.
Her life insurance policy really isn't that high, so I need her. I can't have my dishwasher drowned in.
No. But I think with Thursday night, when we started talking about it, is I am so pig-headed and just stubborn that I'm like, if you guys can do it, I can do it. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to say anything. I can do this.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you have to stop thinking that you're the same size as everyone else too. You know what I mean? It's like for the waders and the climber and the bow and the pack, you're talking like 40 pounds of gear.
Right.
Which is like a third of my body weight. So I'm like struggling.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that I'm struggling. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, no, I can do this. So, but.
It'd be like one of us carrying 80 pounds of gear.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is.
I mean, it's. And then, you know, where the water's hitting you guys, like knee level, thigh level, it's like waist level for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's. Because I'm a whole 5'1".
You need
so,
eyeball waders.
I do.
We almost needed them that day that my fucking harness was taking on water. There's water running out of the pockets of my harness.
Yeah, we went into some deep water. Ryan went back there, dude. He was like, I almost had it up over my hip waders.
Yeah. It's
What do you do? Just unclip and
Unclip and keep it
out.
moving, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them things fill with water,
You're done.
fucking, they'll fucking drown you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, we try to stay out of those situations.
Right. So
But
Wednesday's hunt, I didn't see anything, but hearing the bugles, and then there was like a bald eagle hanging out in the tree next to me, and it's so different.
It's a beautiful place. There's
it's
so
gorgeous.
many
hell,
animals.
hell is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I mean, we got some great pictures we posted
Mm-hmm.
up and shit. Like, it is. But your second day, the
Yeah.
morning.
Thursday morning was amazing. So
Yeah.
Thursday morning, great walk in, simple, half a mile. I'm set up close to the trail where we came in on, and he had told me before, like, you really have to pay attention, they're hard to see. And I'm like, okay, like they're a lot smaller. So I'm like sitting there and I see one coming down the trail, walking right down the trail we walked in. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? This is not hard to see. This thing was like the size of a doe. And he gets closer and I'm like, it's a stag and he's big. And I'm like texting him and I'm like, no, he's big. And he's like, I'm like, he could be like 6 or 8 points. He's big. And he's like, there's
Yeah,
6
calm
is the
down.
biggest round. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I've never seen one in person. Maybe I'm like full shit. So I range him. He's at 72. Of course, I don't have a raven. So, you know.
I'll sell you one.
Yeah. So he comes in to my right into the frag, and there's like one small opening where I'm like, okay, if he comes right perfect in there, I think I can get him. So he came through that spot. He was at 39, but all I could see was his head.
Fuck.
And I'm like, if I, again, if I had the raven, I would. But I'm like, at the same point though, I didn't want to shoot him and chance never finding him because that's a gorgeous animal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I want whoever.
Majestic like us.
Right, yeah. I'm like, I want whoever harvests him to actually have him. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yes.
it wasn't worth it to me to shoot him
And
in
never
the neck
find him.
and never find him, go in the frag and lose him. Like, no.
No.
I couldn't do it.
You made the right call.
But he was beautiful. And then Thursday night, I had a hind come in at 20,
Where's these chip
I
shots
know.
at for me?
Yeah.
but I couldn't get
Damn it.
up over the edge of the climber to get my bow to aim low enough.
Now, is that something that you've encountered before, or like was your climber, was your top higher than you usually have it?
I think
I think she had it too
I
far
had,
back
I
on
had
the
it
cable.
too tipped instead of rolling it forward because I did that Friday and it was a lot better. Like I would have been fine. So it's just the climber. I haven't had a ton of time in it either. So we started with, I used it 2 times during bow season, ended up with freaking COVID, didn't hunt for 15 forevers, and you know what I mean? So it's just, I need more time in that thing too.
That was your first hunt since like opening weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't hunted since then. So I think it's a new ball game. So like
Yeah.
I said,
I love my climber.
Sika was a reality check for me because you figure I sit my fat ass in a gator. I drive to
Shout out to John Deere.
I get out, I climb a ladder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I get out, I go back to my gator.
So, will you go back next year?
Yes,
What-
I will go back next
What are
year.
you going to do differently to be better
Work
prepared?
the fuck out before.
Yeah.
Like
Not
wait.
go to X.
Never go to X. No, I'm not saying that though because
have me
X
a
was
fucking
cool.
bike.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. I
I need
wouldn't
like
mind
2
getting a
bikes
bike.
with carts.
Yeah.
Look like gladiators out there fucking pedaling.
Chariots and shit.
I'm too stubborn to let something defeat me. So I mean, I would definitely, but I'd spend a lot more time in the gym beforehand. And I think too, I'm hoping by then I'll be better with the climber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just more experience. It's a new ball game for sure.
It's definitely not whitetail hunting. I mean,
No.
it's kind of similar to public land whitetail hunting, but it's still a lot more hiking and it's harder terrain.
Yeah. It's
Once you get to where you are, hunting's hunting.
Yeah.
It's just like getting there and sweating. Oh, I couldn't. I was in a t-shirt just sweating.
well, you're also wearing like a giant condom too. You know what I mean? Like you're in these chest waders, and it's
Showing
just
everybody
like
my camo toe.
yeah, it's your camo toe. So it's just you know
Those
you get
things really
cold.
seal in the flavor.
Oh my god, I
That
mean, like,
neoprene. Whew.
and I had worn lined pants that morning because it was so cold out, and then that afternoon, of course, we never went back and changed. So I'm literally like, my pants were like you just pulled them out of the washer.
Yep.
They're just
When,
soaked. Like
when you
it's-
hike 2 miles, don't wear your wallet.
Yeah, that
he had a
too.
giant like blister on his leg from his wallet. So, I mean, it was
And there's no money in there. Trust me. I'm married.
No.
Got kids.
Yeah. It is definitely. I would recommend to anybody, like if you're gonna go down there and hunt, is to at least be in like halfway decent shape.
yeah.
And
Round is a shape, though.
round is a shape.
Not
Round
wrong.
is a shape. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you got a bicycle or like I'm just saying you can do it in any shape. Honestly, it's just how far do you want to go? Do you
Right.
want to go where nobody else goes? Do you want to push it? Are you planning to drag something out of there manually, or do you have a cart? You know what I mean? So there's ways around it. You can make it easier on yourself, but I feel like being in shape, it goes a long way. You know what I mean? Just like the hiking and the dragging, if you're in decent shape, none of it's really that bad. Like, not toot my own horn, but to me, like I'm having a great time. Like it's no
Right.
factor for me. You know?
Mr. Walking with a saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
2
too.
pounds of nothing.
Right.
I got a fucking
He's
saddle.
like just trotting along with his saddle and his book bag.
The
no.
weight didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, even the deer, I drug that fucking deer 2 miles. I was
Yeah.
good to go. You know, I mean, it sucked, but they're light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not whitetail. That's one nice thing is when you do drag them,
Right. They're not.
it's fucking nothing. And especially after I gutted that thing, I was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you drug that thing forever without gutting it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh man, this is so much better.
Yeah, I feel like it cut the weight in half getting the guts out of that thing. His belly was so goddamn full. But yeah,
How
it's,
do you kill a deer in the middle of nowhere that has corn in it?
yeah.
They go a long way, just for some fucking corn.
Yeah, because that hind you shot had corn in her belly. And that one was
Miles
from any road, anything. I mean, that was the one we killed on the boat. And, I mean, you're talking...
frag as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, it was from where you shot her, it was a half mile of straight frag to get to the woods before you hike 1.5 miles, 2 miles through that woods to get to a road, to get to another property line.
Right.
Like, and that motherfucker had corn in his belly. It's wild. Like Gary, he's been hunting these things since the 70s, and he said that they don't travel like whitetail, which I totally believe because you can't like pattern these things. You know what I mean? If you see a stag one place, like you go back the next day and you're not going to see them, or maybe you will, but you know what I mean. He said they just fucking wander. You know what I mean?
Not like territories like whitetail.
Like a whitetail used the
Right.
same trail every day, and he
God
said
love them stupid
Yeah.
things.
he said these will not do that. You know.
Yeah.
So, which sucks because it's like, fuck, like that stag we seen, it makes us want to go back because then me and John seen that same stag
Right.
in the same unit, but in a totally different area.
Yeah. How
know-
far away you think we were?
Probably 500 yards.
As the crow flies.
Yeah, as the crow flies, yeah. But I mean, you're talking a good distance away. John, that was your first time even seeing one.
Yeah.
And it was that thing was so big. I have no doubt in my mind it would have been top 20 state record stags. I mean, it was a monster 6-pointer. It's one antler. It must have been fucking. I don't know how long it was. It was long.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing looked like an elk walking through the marsh.
Yeah.
Its body was not small at all.
No,
It
not
was
at all.
it was the size of a whitetail.
Right. So after seeing that and then seeing the hind, I'm like, okay, now I know why he's saying that they're hard to see. They're small. You know what I mean? But that one, I was like, this thing's not small. Like.
And they're dark too.
Yeah.
So in low light, the darker coat. I mean, these fuckers. It is tough. It is tough. You know. I mean, you wouldn't know it after me and Kevin's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They're pounding the woods.
Kevin comes down. He's like, I don't see what's so hard about this.
Fucking guy. Grow up.
Ryan's fucking throwing his bow in the marsh. He's had a rough week. We'll let him get on and talk about it. Hopefully he gets one here soon. That's the benefit of him living down there, though. So he has the luxury of being able to continue to pursue them. But he had some opportunities and couldn't. He ain't got one down yet. But we're fingers crossed. It's a long season. He'll get one.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
What was your impression of the mosquitoes? Did I exaggerate those?
No. Well, we were sitting in the stand, and it was getting close to getting down, and I'm not getting bit. I'm not seeing a mosquito, none. And I just reach up and click off my thermocell, and then something tells me to look up, and I look up, and there's probably 30,000 mosquitoes just kind of outside of the barrier of both of our thermocells because we're sitting in the same tree because you're tagged out and you're just along for the ride. I look up, and I'm like, yep, click that fucking thing back on.
You can feel them hit you in the face.
Yeah. They're so big. I mean, some of those mosquitoes down there, you can see the dicks on them things. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're fucking huge
I
mosquitoes.
saw like 3 Boone and Crockett ones. I was trying to get one mounted.
When we got back, I, of course, look in the mirror, and I'm like, I look like a meth addict right now. Like, is it meth? No, it's just Sika hunting. Like, there's all these bites.
Calm down, Methany.
Right? Yes. Thursday night, that great night, I literally sit down in the climber, and my thermosol,
I get the text. This thing won't start a fire.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh my god, is this thing gonna catch the freaking marsh on fire? And I'm gonna die because I'm slow as shit getting down in a climber. So I'm just gonna burn alive in hell.
This terrible place.
But yeah, those things, they were wild.
Yeah. Oh, I was covered. During that week, I probably sustained 50 mosquito bites.
Mm-hmm. I only got 2 bites.
With the thermocell.
Both in the same place on both hands.
Yeah.
2 bites.
I had them on my hands. I had just this side of my face though. There was 15 of them. I'm like, I don't want to go back to work. Thinking I'm on some meth binge. For
yeah, it looked like I'm doing steroids. It's not acne.
Thank God we went to Walmart and got me a new thermocell.
Yes.
Mine was busted.
I did a sit without one. It was brutal.
You can't.
It is almost undoable.
That was a morning hunt.
That was the morning hunt before they got there, and that was one
rough bitch.
Yeah, that was brutal. And I had every part of my body covered. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they light you up till that sun comes out, man. They will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Mosquitoes like me as it is, but man, they were bad. And actually, that was the morning that. Partially because of that, but partially because of this new fucking hero clip that I got. Now, this was before I realized I tagged out, because initially I thought when we went down there that you could kill 3 hinds and 1 stag. It is not 3 hinds and 1 stag. It's 3 deer, no more than 1 antlered. And at this time, I didn't know that. So I had my bow. I'm shooting a hind. I got another hind tag. Well, this fucking hind walks up. And she's fucking 30 yards from me. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I'm sorry, I thought it was a spike. That's why I didn't shoot her at 30, which good thing I didn't. I thought it was a spike. I was like, okay, it's a spike. And because it's dark and I seen the white of her ears, and I thought they were spikes. So I'm just watching it, and it keeps coming in, and it stops 12 yards from me at the bottom of my tree. And I'm like, that's not a spike, that's a hind. So I reach behind me, and I grab my bow, and that hero clip, this new bow hanger that I got for the tethered hang your shit strap, I think it's called. And it might not be called that. It might be something else.
Oh shit or something like that? Or?
I don't know. But I grab it off that hero clip, and it makes a cling sound. That fucking hind hauled ass. She didn't look around, nothing. As soon as she heard that, she ran 100 yards.
Good thing.
Yeah. It was a good thing she did because I would have shot her and tagged it and then probably got a fine. Like, because I thought I was still good to go. But that evening, we all went or it might have even been the next evening or next morning. No, it was that evening. We went and we're talking to this guy in a parking lot of another unit. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're tagged out. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, man, you're tagged out. You can only shoot 3. And I was like, no, it's 3 Hines. And we pulled up the regulations. He was fucking right.
But didn't he say they just changed it this year?
Yeah. So I think that is just this year that happened.
They dropped the bag limit?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. I'm always up for reducing bag limits to an extent. You know, I don't think they should make it any less than what it is.
Yeah.
Like 3 deer per weapon. Honestly, I think they should make it 5 per archery and 2 per muzzleloader, 2 per rifle.
I'd be down with that.
I'd like that because you
got every dickhead in the fucking country coming over and trying to hunt them fucking things
for muzzleloader and rifle
and bow
or shotgun.
And we seen a Massachusetts tag Thursday morning.
There was
Massachusetts, Montana, South Carolina,
Louisiana. We saw. Yeah. Like it's.
Thanks, Steve Ranella.
Yeah.
Oh, they hate him down there. They really hate him. Like I mentioned,
when Gary say, "I wouldn't take that fucker in my boat."
Yeah.
Because I was like, because Ryan was like, "Doesn't this feel like an episode of Meat Eater?" And I was like, "Yeah." Then at the end of the night, I was like, "Dude, this fucking felt like an episode of Meat Eater." And he was like, "I wouldn't let that motherfucker in my boat." They hate him down there, dude.
Yeah, Gary was not feeling it.
No, Gary did not like Steve Ranella, which is understandable. You know what I mean? And would Gary know that I'm on a podcast right now telling about that place? He'd probably be pissed at me.
Probably.
Right.
But you're not.
But we're not
out,
giving details,
you're
though.
not
You're
saying,
not
"Hey,
setting
go
a
to
unit," or you know what I mean.
38 and
right.
fucking sit in this tree and you can kill everything you want.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, the most crowded unit that I went to while I was down there, and we went to like 4, was M1.
Fuck that place.
That place was crowded. That was
Sausage fest.
Yeah. I mean, I could see 3 hunters from my stand.
But why? There's so many units.
I don't know. I guess the one guy told Ryan that used to be a really good unit, and it's just gotten a lot of pressure. Yeah, now it's fucked, so avoid that one. There's a lot of...
go to that one. Stay over there.
Go to M. It's great.
I've heard a lot of bugles. But, yeah, the only thing I seen there was fucking mosquitoes that look like hummingbirds.
The state bird.
Yeah, with the Dorchester County Air Force.
Right.
Those motherfuckers are no joke. They must have had a pint of my blood while I was down there. I mean, at least. And the smell of my clothing after that week, dude.
Smell like 8 cans of shark shit. So
oh my
it's
god,
so weird. Like we would get in his truck, and I'm like, oh my god, it stinks in here.
Smell like a Getty gas station bathroom.
Right.
dude.
It's terrible. It's a weird though. It's a weird smell. Like
The marsh.
yeah.
Yeah, and it has like it synergizes with body odor to make just a really, really unique odor.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon when I baptized myself in the swamp.
Yeah.
And then we got up in the stand and I took them fucking waders off and just air dried.
You dumped water out of your fucking wader.
I was like, check this out. Get this on film. Dump this shit out. That's full of water.
All right, I got something planned. If you could make, you guys take a minute and think about it. If you could give one recommendation to someone who goes down there to hunt Sika for the first time, what would it be? And for me, it would be try to look at them with new eyes. Try not to put them in the lens of a whitetail. That would be my biggest piece of advice. And take a fucking thermocell.
Yeah, thermocell definitely.
Gear. Having the right gear.
Yeah.
Workout.
It's a workout.
Johnny?
Thermocell. Yes.
It's like we were talking about it. I don't know how people did that before thermocells.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You had to have fucking mosquito gear, like nets
You'd
and
have
shit.
to have nets, yeah.
Like the Alaskan stuff.
Yes. Because there's no way. That place should be a commercial for thermocells.
Even then, them fucking things buzzing past your ears, I can't stand that noise.
Yeah.
I'm constantly swatting.
Right. It would still like circle, but wouldn't like land on you. You know what I mean? But just the sound it's like birds flying around your face.
Yeah, I force myself not to swat because I don't want to move. You know what I mean?
No, fuck that, dog.
I tried for a couple, and then I was just like, oh, I can't do
The
this.
first one I saw, I thought it was a fucking bat. I'm like, fuck is that big black creature right there?
I'm swatting because, I mean, these fucking things are in the frag. They can't see until they get up on you.
Right.
Unless you're in the woods.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They see movement really well. And they hear better, too. And you know what I think they hear better is because they're such vocal animals. They use their hearing a lot more than whitetail, so it makes sense that they would hear a little better.
Well, we had that hind at like 30 yards Friday night, and we were chit-chatting, and she didn't hear us.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that bitch was going to step out. I was going to let it eat. After that stag rolled past us at 40 at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Who knew that was going to happen?
Did we talk about that?
No.
Fucking tell that story.
We get up in the stand, what is it, 10 to 4?
Yeah, it's probably like almost 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and we're facing back the way we came. And I'm just sitting there chilling. I got a wet leg, and all of a sudden I feel just tap, 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 tap on the top of my head. And
That means don't come up.
and Seth grabs my head and turns it around, and I catch the glimpse of the stag you seen, just an absolute freak.
Great white buffalo.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing was a unit.
When you seen it, it was 40 yards.
When I turned around, I ranged the tree like when I got in the stand, so I know where it was at. The tree I ranged was 39. He was right behind it.
Yeah.
Could you have shot him?
I don't think I would have had time. He was moving quick with purpose. I mean, he was. If I had my bow in my hand, yeah, but I wouldn't have had my bow in my hand at 4 o'clock. Like I would have turned around, seen him, turned around to grab my bow, and he would have already been at 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was he definitely wasn't strolling around. He was moving when I saw him.
And
It
like
was
a
very
big dick in a locker room.
Yes,
Like this is
very
my marsh.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stopped in the frag at what, like 60?
Yeah.
Milled around a little bit, and then he went back through, and you ranged him again when you seen him the last time at what, 80?
79 or something. Yeah. And he was in there just like putting on a show, like fucking thrashing his
look at you
antlers into shit.
motherfuckers,
Like he was like, "Fuck you, this is my house."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I seen him, I was immediately shaking. I was trembling.
Oh.
And I didn't even have a bow.
Your platform was fucking shaking. I
telling
could
you,
hear it.
That's what I was like trying to get the rangefinder up there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, just pure adrenaline.
When you see an animal of that caliber, it's like, holy fuck.
When it happens that quick, I don't have time to shake.
Yeah.
Shake afterwards.
Yeah.
Usually that's how I am too, but with that one, maybe it's because I knew I couldn't shoot him. I don't know. But I just, man.
And you knew the caliber of animal it was.
Yes, I immediately knew. Like, just the size of, the length of his antlers was unreal. And I was hoping to get back down there from muzzleloader and try to get after him, but I have, I got shit I got to do.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. Somebody will probably get him. We'll see him on
Yeah,
fucking
be there next
Facebook.
year. He's that big.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't bugle once.
No.
Until
dark.
And that was a cap.
Yeah.
That was a perfect way to end it, because that was the best bugle I heard.
Oh, yeah. That had to be him, because it was just an absolute monster bugle. It sounded like a goddamn elk
It
bugle.
did.
And it was 100 yards from us.
Yeah.
We had that one Thursday night that was definitely
It
the
was
closest
close.
one.
Oh, yeah, at
Warm.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, it was loud.
That motherfucker. He was just skirting us all night long.
Yeah. X is a great unit if you want to hike 2 miles.
Yeah, but like you said, you got the same hunting at
Other units.
for
Yeah.
a quarter of the walk,
Yeah.
a fifth of the walk.
Yeah, there's easier hunts there, and that's what we've come to learn.
I would go back.
I would go back too.
I would go back too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That night, though, you guys didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking miserable.
Yeah. I was like, because of the simple fact that, like you said, like there's other units that are just as good.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're probably all that good. You just got to find the right spot in those
Yeah.
units.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've found a handful of spots in a handful of units that have repeatedly
Paid off.
paid off and shown animals. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about being ready. That's one thing that I would also recommend too is don't be playing on your phone. Fucking pay attention, because when you see them, you often don't have a lot of shot opportunity. Like, you got to be
It's
quick. Be
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, they slip up on you.
Yeah.
That hind of Friday night, she just came out of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden we hear her mewing and then splashing. It's like, where the fuck did this bitch come from?
Yeah.
So
The frag, man, that stuff.
It's
Like the
wild
Song
looking
Bar.
though. I mean, it's in where, Thursday night, it's like I sat with my back to the frag facing the field, having them come out, like, was hoping that I could catch them as they were moving towards the woods. And
there you go.
it was it's just wild how the terrain was so completely different in front of me and behind me. Like, I was taking pictures of it. I'm like, you feel like you're in two completely different worlds. It looks nothing alike.
Yeah.
But you could get lost in that shit for sure, though.
Yeah, I did.
Like, it's,
Thank you.
no,
Thank
you got
Axe.
lost in the dark. I'm talking about the frag.
Yeah, it was fucking darky dark.
Kevin, what did you think about the silent when they blow? It's like their version of a blow. It's like a meep.
That's what she did when I hit her with that old Raven song.
I never heard that.
Sound like Kevin shot a dog's chew toy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was.
What in the hell is that? I guess that's their blow, is the meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the meat of death, because that old girl took
She took
14 inches of the 20-inch bolt, son.
That was her last meat.
Yep.
Yeah. The one after you shot her though, the one behind her was doing it.
Yeah. Yep. That was like the alert.
Yep.
And then
That's
it
their.
came around and.
It sounds like you scuff your sneaker on a gym floor.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Did you hear one, John?
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That bitch was going nuts.
Yeah.
She was not happy.
No. I started climbing down, and there must have been one out in the field, and because she was meeping.
Meep.
Meep. That's pretty good, Kevin. Yeah, dude, they're a totally different thing, man. It's definitely fun. I mean, I really like it, but it puts everything into perspective, and I think it makes you a better whitetail hunter too.
Mm-hmm.
Going through all that and having to really hone in on these animals, like you have to work harder for those. I feel, not trying to like take anything away from whitetail, but you have to really think about what you're doing and like be really purposeful. And it definitely translates to whitetail hunting, even though they're so different. Like it makes you think about things differently. And another thing that's really different is it's flat as a motherfucker there. Like you have no hills,
Right.
None.
which is nice because like walking through that is a lot easier when it's flat. Could you imagine if that shit was hilly too?
If that 2-mile hike Thursday night was up and down hills, I'd have left my stand out there.
Really both.
That heavy fucking thing.
Yeah, John, you took a hang on, and you called an last minute audible
Yeah.
and was like, "I'm bringing sticks and a hang on."
Mm-hmm.
What made you do that?
Well, the Saturday that you guys went down, I went to port. I got my climber and had a doe at 13 yards underneath of me. And I draw back, and I can taste her back straps. I can already taste her. And I let this arrow fly, and all of a sudden my bow jumps up out of my friggin' hand and makes this big clang. The bottom cam of my bow hits the top rail of my climber. And I'm like, I wanted to just bend that thing in half. I was so pissed off.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So you were just like, "Fuck it, I'm buying sticks."
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, what if I had a Sika deer at 13
Right.
yards?
Been the same deal.
I got to reach up over that fucking top of that climber.
Yeah. For a compound, I think saddles are the way to go. And not only that, but for Sikaville, the tree selection.
Oh, God.
What, the dead ones or the
Or
dead
the other
ones?
dead ones.
Well, tree selection nil to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I climb dead trees. Gary's like, "No, I don't climb dead
What
trees.
do you
I'm
say?
still alive."
Yeah, he said, when I get old and get dementia, I'm going to go out there and climb one of them things so I can fucking die. I thought I had like this stellar tree picked out. And I get up there in the morning, and I get set up, and the sun comes up, and I look up. That bitch is deader than 8 o'clock. I said, well, there goes that.
It's sketchy climbing them fucking things too. But sometimes they're in great spots.
Yeah.
And I just,
That one Thursday morning, I couldn't wink my butthole without that thing shaking. Phew.
it's not a good feeling.
No.
Because like the whole time you're like thinking about it, like, God damn it. Like the one I climbed Wednesday morning, I thought about climbing out of it. It was so dead, and it was leaning. It was lean. It had a hard lean, and it was dead as fuck. And every move I made, that whole fucking tree shook.
Yeah.
And it was like late morning. It was like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. I'm sitting in that tree, and all of a sudden, the whole fucking thing just starts rocking. And I look up, and one of these stupid fucking dodo birds.
That's an oo-oo bird.
Ew.
Yeah, the oo-oo bird. Yeah.
I want to.
Ooh, when you shoot it.
I want it too bad. It scared the piss out of me, dude. Oh my god, I think I squeezed a few drops of pee out on that one. Yeah, they're. I wouldn't advise climbing the dead trees, but hey, I mean,
gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
yeah, when in Rome.
Yep.
Especially if you got
Got nice lush water to land in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, glorious water.
I legitimately thought about that. I was like, from this height, I'm like 18 feet. Like, if I fall in that, it's like a foot of water, I'd probably be fine.
Foot of water with 3 feet of slop under the water.
Giving
Yeah.
yourself ratios of death.
Yeah. Like, as long as this tree doesn't break, like, right underneath me, like, snaps like, if it falls over, like, roots, like,
Yeah.
I'll be fine. But if it bitch snaps, like, where I'm at, and it just goes, boom, like, dude, you're fine.
He was selling himself. Trees fall slow. Like his trees dead. They fall slow.
Yeah, that's what I told Ryan. I was like, OSHA even tells you if your ladder falls to stay on the ladder, man. It's going to fall slower than you. But it doesn't always work that
He
way.
was not feeling you.
No, Ryan was like, fuck that. I think he did end up climbing a dead tree, though.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was like, all right, you know what? Seth and Kevin are shooting all the fucking deer.
Poor Ryan.
And he was like, I'm climbing this fucking tree. But, yeah. The climber can only climb so small of trees, too. Like, the thing about the trees in the marsh is a lot of them are fucking like 8 inches,
small.
6 inches in diameter. You can't get them with a climber.
6 inches is not small.
Thank you, Kevin. But so having a saddle or a hang on, it gives you a little advantage there, you know. But of course, now you guys with crossbows. I mean, I guess you could do it, but
It'd be rough.
yeah.
Really
And you
rough.
guys have more range too, like particularly Kevin. Like,
Yeah.
You can stretch out.
I'm not scared to let that bitch rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, might have to sit a little further back, but you can shoot a little further, too. I mean, that fucking thing's moving at, what, 430 feet per second? They're not jumping that motherfucker at 50 yards like they are John or I's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that thing is cruising.
I like the staple their legs together motto. I mean,
Yeah.
That thing seems to work.
Yeah. Worked well.
Sounds like somebody hitting a freaking home run with a wooden bat. It's
Yeah.
so loud.
Yeah.
Kevin, when you shot at the unit we were, the last unit we were at, I heard that fucking. We both
I
heard
was
it.
in the money.
What the fuck was that?
I was in the money pit there, dude.
I was like, that was Kevin. I heard him. I heard him yesterday. That was Kevin.
Yeah, that
He said,
it's
"Well,
so loud.
she's dead."
Yeah, it's so loud that
You sent us a picture, and that was pretty well into daylight. You were down and found her. It was still daylight.
Yeah, she still had a little life left in her. I had to help her out a little bit.
Yeah.
little push.
Man, things are tough.
Yeah, they are.
Golly.
They are tough.
Yeah, she was trying to get back into the marsh, and I was not feeling that.
Yeah.
But that was a money spot. Like, I'd fight somebody over that spot. Like,
Hell yeah.
I would straight pistol whip you with my belt. That place is money.
Kick rocks, motherfucker.
That's my tree. Yeah, that was a good spot. That was a really good spot.
Hell yeah. You seen 2 out of that stand, right? Yeah. I mean, shit, that one night we seen like 5. That was the most I've ever seen in one sit.
The
night you killed 2,
Yeah, that was
Tuesday night.
that place was
Tuesday was just, man, we should have fucking went home Tuesday. Like, that was.
Yeah, we were on cloud fucking nine.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
he's texting me. He's like, I wish you were here. This has been the greatest night ever. And I'm like, fuck you too.
Yeah. Like the boat ride out, the fucking
The boat
moon.
ride, I had a heart on you could swing from. Yeah, I mean,
Like Gary is his hero.
yeah, you could have put Gary's light on the top of my boner, and that thing would have been hard the whole time. I was up there playing rock paper scissors with that thing.
Life lessons with Gary.
Oh, man. He's
Gary's
a
the
great dude.
fucking man.
Great
Gary's
dude.
the man.
Big-
I knew it when he was like, "Oh, y'all should come with me." We were either A, getting fucking gar-holed, and we were just gonna get destroyed by mosquitoes, or this old man knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
Seth and I talked about it. We're on the way home like, that motherfucker, he good.
Yeah. That boy good.
He real good.
Yeah, Gary hooked us up, man. That was. Whew.
Where else you gonna go and someone's gonna take you to a fucking honey hole?
Yeah. I mean, especially
free.
on animals
Yeah.
that are so hard to hunt as it is. Like, dude, not a lot of people are going to take you to one of their best spots.
No.
That was fucking awesome of them. Kevin comes out of there with 2 deer.
Thanks, Gary.
Shit, we've been married 16 years. I still can't hunt his good spots. So
Hey, there's,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'd be damned if I'm sharing any of the spots I've found down there. You know what I mean? Other than with y'all, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not telling
I'm
nobody.
just sitting fucking 50 yards from him. They just come
Just
right in.
follow
Oh,
Seth.
he's the fucking Sika
Follow the
Slayer,
leader.
dog. Got him figured out. Got him pegged.
I think he like leaves his wang hang out or something. Something. He's out there in the tree trolling or something.
They are attracted to me like them fucking mosquitoes.
Right.
Dude, the contrast between this year and last year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? But just last year, I struggled and struggled and struggled. And this year, I felt like, man,
Shit
we
just
didn't
came together.
Yeah, I mean, if one of us didn't kill one, somebody had a shot opportunity or saw one. You know what I mean? Like we were all over it this week. We fucking knocked it out of the park.
I think there was 2 hunts
where we
didn't see
got
any-
skunked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
All
Should I
week.
do that more in a week whitetail hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah. We Kevin got spoiled for his first week of Sika, for sure. For sure. That was not my first impression. I mean, I was all over it. I loved it,
It's
but
like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys?
Right.
This is fucking easy.
Like, I don't know what
This
to
is
do.
why I shoot a fucking crossbow.
yeah. I mean, you had far shots though. You did, but I mean, most of them were inside of. What was the last one?
45.
45. So
That
I mean,
was my
those
closest
are
shot.
all shots that John and I can make too. You know what I mean? It's
Still stretch.
still a stretch
Oh, a little tiny critter.
on a small animal. Yeah,
That was an
absolutely.
epic fucking shot Tuesday night. You can kiss my ass.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
that was fucking money.
that was
That was
you
tits on a Ritz, son. I mean, that was
12 ringed that fucking thing.
at
Shot it through
50
the
some
heart.
yards.
At 54 yards, shot it in the heart. Yeah, that thing didn't go 30.
So
There-
fuck it, I'm gonna send it.
The stag, I cut his heart in half. I cut a fucking big chunk out of his fucking heart. Damn near cut that fucking thing in half. He still ran probably 70 yards.
He had that death wiggle to him, though. I knew he was on borrowed time.
Yeah.
If that stag would have stepped out under 80 Friday night, I was letting her eat.
He's
dog.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Friday, everybody was like, except for Seth. Seth had no weapon.
Right.
Unless he was gonna like jump on his back and kill it. He wasn't shooting. But everybody's like, we fucking
Right.
kill one tonight.
Yeah.
We're fucking out of here.
And we still were.
Yeah.
Boogied home.
Oh man, it was man, it was a great week.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't ask for more. I mean, could have, but I mean, we said going into this, like, I was like, it is possible everyone kills one. I think it's a tall order, but I do think it's possible.
Right.
And I was like, you know,
I think if they would have been with us the whole week,
I think damn near everybody would have
Yeah.
killed one. You know what I mean? I mean, Ryan had opportunities. Kevin and I killed. I mean, we both tagged out. If you guys were there all week, you
Yeah.
would have had opportunities.
No
Right.
doubt.
100%.
No doubt.
Yeah.
we just need e-bikes and list of gear.
Company credit card, bust
Yeah.
that thing out.
Right.
Yeah, I think e-bikes would be really nice, but I don't know. If I got a mountain bike and I got like a bow mount.
That would be doable because there's no hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would be fine.
You can take that kayak and cram that bitch in the cram hole.
So far.
Don't even
hole.
don't even ask about fucking kayak hunting next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck that thing. I was in like, it's a really nice kayak, but that thing was heavier than fucking hell. I'm over there getting my Don Johnson on. These boys are pulling me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm giving it all I had. I asked the guy I bought it from. He goes, yeah, she ain't no speed demon. No shit. I figured that out about 5 days ago, motherfucker.
Yeah, that thing. Kevin was struggling with that fucking thing. Like he was just paddling, and that motherfucker wouldn't go nowhere. It looked like a goddamn fucking John boat. That thing. It was
big.
flat as hell. It was
When they
big.
sell a kayak that comes pre-wired for a fucking trolling motor,
Oh yeah.
you
no.
know it's heavy.
That's a big
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah.
I nicknamed her the Rod Father, though.
It was a hell of a week. I mean, fuck.
Great week.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was what it's all about. you
Other
know?
than lack of sleep driving,
Yeah, because it was late
fighting
nights.
for your fuel prices, you douche.
50-mile. Yeah, thanks. 50-mile fucking from Ryan's to Blackwater.
Yeah, I mean it was
Stank water.
Stank.
You know, some units are over an hour from his house.
Yeah.
So, and we would stay down there, but by the time we got home, like the one night we killed some.
It was 11 o'clock.
Tuesday, and then wake up at 3:30 the next morning and go do it again.
I woke up Tuesday morning and I'm like, is this worth it? I mean, really, is this really worth it?
Yeah, it is brutal. I think getting a spot a little closer would be nice for next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll figure something out.
I need us a Sika shed or something. Or,
Camper.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
We could even
Like-
do
We were.
just
I had her.
tents.
I had her hooked. I'm reeling.
Yeah, I know.
Seth takes us to X. The fucking line broke, hook broke, fucking fishing pole snapped in half.
He had this whole plan: buy a lot, buy a camper, have somewhere you could stay down here, Sika hunt, go to the
Oh, I'm
beach.
telling
You know,
you
what I mean?
something.
Like, he had a whole game
I
plan.
could sell a ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves, son. I was working it. And
then
Seth
X
was like,
happened.
oh, yeah, let's fucking.
I was like, I'll split it with you. We'll we'll all go in on it.
Seth's 2 miles in. I'm like, motherfucker. She's like, fuck you, and definitely fuck you, Seth.
When we got out of the woods, I'm like, y'all want to go out Friday morning? Go ahead. I am staying the fuck at Ryan's. I am not going. I'm
Yeah, we
so
all
tired.
slept in Friday. Yeah, it was
Shout
a long
out to
week.
Ryan's squeaky bed.
It was cool though. It was a different experience. Figure I've never hunted anything else. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
was an adventure for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was my, other than a whitetail, that's the first large game animal I've ever killed other than a whitetail. So I've got 2 now. Kevin, that's your 3rd, right? Because you've killed hogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. We got it done. And we're
We're going to do it again next year, but just fucking better.
coming. Blackwater. We're coming for your deer.
Yeah, dog.
Hell yeah. You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the fuck out of y'all. We will see you very soon. Thank you for tuning in.
America.